Detective Gregory Henchins sits at his desk, rocking back and forth in his chair as he reviews each case and examines each piece of evidence he has gathered.
First case. Alfred Smith and Dr. Jessica Ross. Both were having an affair, but only one is brutally murdered. The other permanently mutilated. Jessica Ross was kidnapped from her place of work and tortured in an unknown location, later found by a dog after being thrown like trash in a public but wooded area, a park.
The detective examines the crime scene photos of Jessica Ross and the exam photos of the body taken by Dr. Swanson.
A banana was found lodged in her throat,
said Detective Henchins, with a sound of confusion and worry.
Alfred Smith, almost 3 months after the murder of Dr. Ross, was brutally attacked in a newly rented apartment, Airbnb.
Now, standing and pacing, Detective Henchins nears a white board and scribbles the question.
Who would have access to both Alfred Smith and Jessica Ross?
Pacing again, Detective Henchins continues his thought.
Vanessa Smith, the wife of Alfred Smith, does she have a solid alibi? Could she have killed Jessica Ross and injured Alfred Smith? No. She hired a private investigator.
Detective Henchins scribbles "private investigator" on the whiteboard and continues to pace from one end of the board to the other.
She seems more like the type of woman to gather evidence for a divorce than to commit murder. Very cold and stern woman, but also very level-headed. Second case.
The detective scribbled on the board and returned to his desk. He picked up the case file of Tom Ford and Kimberly Mays and flipped through the crime scene photos, one by one.
Tom Ford and Kimberly Mays, both brutally murdered, both was having an affair.
The detective, still flipping through the crime scene photos, is shocked when he comes across the examiner's photos of Kimberly Mays. The face of Kimberly Mays was disfigured, but her mouth was positioned with staples to look as if she was smiling.
Why would someone do something like this to you?
The detective whispered while looking at the photo.
As if you are happy to look like this. Happy this happened to you.
The detective angrily tossed the photos on the desk. They scattered everywhere. But one photo grabbed his attention. It was the photo of Tom Ford's contorted body lying in the parking lot of the 𝐒𝐭𝐤𝐜𝐿 Bar and Lounge. The detective remembers this day that cameras were being serviced and urgently begins to shuffle papers around his desk, looking for his notepad. He grabs it.
Not a real services. 501-437-9898.
The detective picked up the phone on his desk and called the number. It was disconnected.
That's strange. Why would the service worker give the bar owner a card with a disconnected number?
The detective walked to the whiteboard and scribbled "Notarial Services, disconnected." As the detective reviewed the board, he noticed the name of the company.
Notarial Services? That's a strange name for a company.
As the detective continues to look at the name, he notices when the words are broken apart, it says something else.
Notarial Services when spaced really say, not a real service. What? Does notarial service really not exist?
Detective Henchins walked back to his desk and turned on his laptop. He waited a few minutes for the screen to appear. He then went to the search engine and typed "Notarial Services." No search results were found.
Did the service worker intentionally disconnect the cameras? But the bar owner said a woman came to service the cameras. Could the killer be a woman? Impossible. Whoever attacked Alfred Smith had to have some real strength. And how could a woman kidnap both Dr. Ross and Jessica Smith?
Detective Henchins walked back to the whiteboard and scribbled "Speak with bar owner."
So now I know whoever serviced the cameras at the 𝐒𝐭𝐤𝐜𝐿 has to have some connection to these murders.
The detective turned around and noticed a set of envelopes on his desk, both bearing the same sticker, "Last Stop Investigations." He walked to the desk and grabbed them. One envelope was addressed to Vanessa Smith, the other was addressed to Tina Ford.
The wife of both victims hired the same company to investigate their husbands. There has to be a connection.
The detective walked back to the whiteboard and scribbled, "Investigate Last Stop Investigations." He then returned to his desk and grabbed the laptop. went to the search engine and typed Last Stop Investigations. Results were found.
Great. This company has a website and a phone number.
The detective clicked on the website. An animated screen of a camera shutter appeared. When he clicked on the camera, 2 options were available. Learn about Last Stop Investigations and Business Inquiry.
I want to, learn about Last Stop Investigations.
As soon as Detective Henchins made a choice and moved the mouse to click, his phone rang.
Hello, you reached Detective Henchins' homicide.
Gregory?
Noticing the voice, the detective responds.
Hey, Doc, what's up?
Gregory, there's been another murder.